Do you want to connect with your audience, move them emotionally, and compel them to take action? If you do, then I advise you to use personal stories, personal experiences. When I started my speaking career many years ago, I was hired by what was then a large pharmaceutical firm, the Upjohn Company, to do presentation skill training for their company salespeople, their research scientists, their managers, and a host of others. The gentleman who hired me did so based on my interview with him. He said, "Mary Jane, you sound like you know what you're talking about, so I'm going to hire you. And if your evaluations are good, then you can stay. But if they're not good, well, we just won't ask you back." And I thought to myself, well, that's fair enough. Well, I stayed. I stayed for many years. This same gentleman attended an event where he heard me speak. Afterwards, he said, "You know, you tell a lot of personal stories, and in a business setting, I'm not at all convinced that that's appropriate. But our people seem to like you, they learn from you, so, well, I'd like to keep you on as one of our instructors." You know, audiences expect facts, and depending on the purpose of your talk, they expect benefits. But what they don't expect is personal experience. And that's the real power behind a winning presentation, and certainly the mark of a true professional speaker. You know, many people never consider using their own personal experiences because, well, like the gentleman from the Upjohn Company who hired me, number one, they think it's too personal for business. And number two, when people think of the personal, they think of something that's touchy-feely and something that the world of business traditionally has really tended to devalue and suppress it at any show of emotion or feeling. But you and I both know that the world has changed. We today live in this information age, and with a computer on every single desk and in almost every home, data and information is readily available to anybody who wants it. But you know what a computer can't do? It can't automate emotion, the very thing that affects everything people do, from making buying decisions to how to work with people. Only stories can do that, and they do it with supreme effectiveness if it's a good story. You know, if you're a business speaker, your first question ought to be this: how can I, as a presenter, connect with my audience in such a way that I take the data, I take the truths, I take all those unconcreted facts, and I share them in such a way that they're going to be received at a deeper level of awareness. They're going to touch people emotionally, and they're going to move people to take action, and then maybe help them remember what I've said long after I'm gone and they've forgotten my name. Well, I can tell you the answer to that question is that you do it through the use of one of the greatest gifts that you have to offer, and that is a life rich in personal experiences and a life with access to the personal experiences of others that you've read about or who have given you permission to share their story. You see, the minute you share an authentic personal experience that directly relates to your topic, the audience relates to you, and for several reasons. Here are just 3 good ones. Number 1, personal stories make us authentic. When our stories are authentic, we're authentic. And when we're authentic, we're real. And when we're real, the audience knows it. And when they sense that realness about us, our credibility skyrockets. Authentic personal stories make us real. People want to be dealing with real people. Number 2, personal stories create almost instant engagement. Personal stories make us vulnerable. And when we're vulnerable, we're accessible. And it's only when we're accessible that we truly communicate. In other words, it's only when we are truly connecting with other people. So share personal stories. Number 3, personal stories create whole brain appeal. You probably know that the left hemisphere of your brain is the logical, analytical, sequential hemisphere. It's where logic and language are housed. You also probably know that the right hemisphere is what's referred to as the concrete hemisphere. That's where images and emotions are housed. When you tell a story, you engage the right hemisphere. When you give the facts, you engage the left hemisphere. And of course, when you appeal to both hemispheres, you maximize learning efficiency. So there you have it. 3 good reasons to share your own personal experiences, your own personal stories. Number 1, it simply makes you more authentic, more real, more credible. Number 2, you can more quickly engage the listener. And number 3, you're going to maximize their learning efficiency. When you let people know that you have intimate knowledge of your topic through the use of personal stories, you create a deeper awareness. You touch people emotionally, and you stand a much better chance of compelling them to take action. And it's only when they take action that you can know whether or not you've been successful. So share personal stories. You know, if you like this and you'd like additional tips on how to speak like a pro, then go to learntospeaklikeapro.com and click on our video blog where you'll find a slew of other videos. If you'd like some personal or some group coaching or training, then why not give me a call at 800-851-2270. I'd be delighted to be of service to you.